Hey guys, welcome to Watcha Cookin. Today it's all about the amazing flavors of Puerto Rico. First, we're making tostones, a twice fried plantain that we're gonna top with a shrimp salad. It's got red peppers, cilantro, lemon and lime. It's just delicious Puerto Rican inspired flavors. Then we're gonna make a Pina Colada, which is originated in Puerto Rico. But we're gonna give it a little twist with a little mango and a lot of rum. Now later, my girlfriends are stopping by to try these delicious treats, and one of my friends, she has a new Latin lover. So we're gonna give her a few dishes to impress her new man. So get ready to be inspired today on Watcha Cookin. I just finished cutting up the plantains and now I'm gonna heat up my oil in my pan. And I'm just using a plain vegetable oil to give my plantains their first fry. Now what we're gonna do is take our unripe plantain and just pop that into about half a cup of vegetable oil that's heated up on about a medium-low to medium heat. So just plop it in there. That is that perfect sizzle. You need it to have a good amount of sizzle right when you drop that plantain in, because that helps it stay a little bit less greasy, ironically. That's what I found cooking this over time. All right, so I'm just gonna place about 1 plantain's worth. Already chopped these up. And I've cut these about 1/2 inch thick because you want them to have a little bit of width to them so that you can smash them later on, but not too thick because otherwise they don't cook properly. All right, those are looking really good. And I'm gonna give them about a minute on each side. Ooh, that's getting that nice golden brown color. That one's ready to flip already. And I'm using a tong to flip mine. You can either use a fork, whatever you kind of have available, but you want to kind of keep the integrity of the plantain and don't mush it around too much as you're frying them. Just give them that nice golden color as they're going around. And I always like to watch the heat because I don't like it to get too hot. A good medium heat is good, but you want to keep it having that sizzle throughout the entire time. Now, compared to a sweet plantain, the unripe plantain is a lot starchier, so it makes a great thing for an appetizer because it's kind of like almost like a little bread cracker kind of thing that goes well with lots of different flavors on top. We're gonna get to that a bit later. These are coming along great. They've got that great golden brown color. They're cooking evenly on both sides. I can already start to smell the plantains cooking a little bit. It's just a little bit sweet, and that's what I love about tostones because it's not too sweet, but just that little bit of hint of sweet that goes well with a lot of savory dishes as well. Okay, oh, they're about done. And that's what happens. It kind of happens quick that they get finished. So I'm gonna turn off my heat and then I'm gonna start taking them out. I usually take out the ones that are most done first, and I'm placing them just on a paper towel to let them drain a little bit, okay? So these are coming along great. Now you'll notice some of the plantains that are a little bit thicker, they take a little longer to cook. So just kind of keep your eye on the ones that are getting browned more quickly versus the ones that need a couple more flips in order to get them nice and cooked through. And the whole point of this first fry is to basically cook the plantain because the unripe plantain, well, they're not sweet, and so they're not a real fun thing to work with for an appetizer. So you have to kind of cook it once to give it a little bit of sweetness, and then we're gonna cook it again to kind of take it over the top and give it that excellent flavor that's gonna go great with our shrimp salad. My girlfriends are just gonna love these. They're so yummy. And another great thing about tostones is that they're small. And a lot of times, when you're with your girls, you don't want to eat a whole meal. You just want a little nibble, a little something, just to kind of go with your drink and just to kind of relax, but not a full meal. That makes a great thing to use for tostones for. So we're almost done here, but I've got a few more to fry. So I'm gonna take a break, finish up frying these delicious tostones, and then we're gonna come back and smash them with our amazing tostonera. And now for today's fun fact. What product does Puerto Rico produce and export more than any other country in the world? Is it A, sugarcane, B, coconuts, or C, rum? The answer when we come back. Did you have time to think about today's fun fact? What product does Puerto Rico produce and export more than any other country in the world? Is it A, sugarcane, B, coconuts, or C, rum? The answer is C, rum. And that's today's fun fact. Okay, these are all done, so now it's time to get to the smashing. What I'm gonna use is a tostonera. That's what this little thing is. It's an awesome little gadget that is basically like a plantain press. So what I like to do first is give it a little bit of water, just rinse it off, because that little bit of water helps us keep the plantain from sticking when we're trying to take it off, so it maintains that nice waffle imprinted and beautiful shape. Okay, so let me set that right there. And you want to do this when your plantains are still pretty warm. So let me just check them. That's perfect. So I'm just going to take my plantain, stick it inside, and give it a little smash. Just like that. Ta-da! See that? And it gives it a nice little waffle shape. It's kind of slide off. And we're going to place that to the side just to kind of start creating a little mix of tostones that we're going to use later on to top them. Let me show you one more time. Give it a little smash. Sometimes you got to give it a little bit of a push. All right. Now, of course, the thicker the plantain, the bigger your ultimate wedge is going to be. Okay. Now, you can find this little tostonera at a Latin grocery store. I was lucky to be gifted mine by a close friend of mine who's from Dominican Republic. Now, if you don't have a tostonera, you can use any heavy flat surface like a can of beans. I can also show you how to do it with my mortar here. Basically, you just do the same method. Take the plantain, give it a good press, put a little elbow grease into that. Okay, I need to give a little more. There you go. And it's basically the same thing. You're going to get the same effect. So don't worry about having the actual authentic tostonera. It's all the same thing. So I'm going to finish these up and then get started on the shrimp salad. I've got my shrimp and I'm getting ready to create my shrimp salad with Caribbean flavors. Now, I just picked up some shrimp from the grocery store. I'm gonna use a cooked shrimp, mainly because it's a little bit less maintenance than using a raw shrimp. Now, in Puerto Rico and a lot of other countries in the Caribbean, you see a ceviche, which is basically a seafood dish that cooks in a citrus or a vinegar. And it kind of gets it all the way cooked through, but instead of doing that, we're just gonna kind of start from second base and go with a cooked shrimp. So right now I'm just tearing off the little tail that's on my shrimp that I got from the grocery store. And I'm just gonna chop these up into not too small of a dice, because I like it a little bit chunky for my ceviche style salad, but just give them a little bit of a chop. And I've got about half a pound of shrimp, and I think that'll be just enough for our shrimp salad. Okay, looking good. Now I'm gonna put those into a bowl and get ready to add the citrus portion of the program. Now, if this were raw, the citrus is kind of what cooks the shrimp or seafood or whatever else you have going on. But this is just kind of gonna give it a little bit of flavor. First, I'm gonna do a little bit of lemon. I'm just gonna take probably about half of one lemon. Use my little squeezer. It smells so good. It's got that really fresh, clean fragrance. And then I'm gonna do some lime. And the quick tip with lemons and limes, always give it a quick little roll because it helps bring out the juices. And when I look for limes, I always look for ones that have really thin skin, because usually that means it's got a lot of juice inside. Okay. And I'm gonna use the juice from an entire lime, actually, because I think that lime juice gives it a lot of character. Okay, one. Let's give it another. Perfect. Now that's gonna sit for just a minute while we start with our other veggies. Perfect. Okay. And now I'm gonna add just a little bit of red onion. And I love to use red onion because it gives it some bite and it also gives a great color. See, look at that purple. Look at that beautiful purple color going in there. Love that. And I chopped it up really small, like a nice fine dice. And then next I'm gonna add a little bit of a Persian cucumber. And this you can find in the grocery store. You can use a Persian style, you can use an English style. I like the Persian because it's really kind of crispy and thin, and it just gives it a lot of good flavor and crunch. So I have one Persian cucumber, and those are kind of a small cucumber like that. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of cilantro that I chopped up as well. Cilantro you always want to do a little bit close to the end because it has a tendency to wilt. Let's give it a little cilantro. We're going to season with a little salt and pepper. Give it about a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to give it just some pepper. And that's basically it, guys. I'm going to just mix it around. Isn't that the simplest salad ever? You can always smell that cilantro, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of lime. It smells delicious. All right, I want to check it just to make sure my seasonings are on track. Let me grab another quick spoon. Okay, give that just a quick little taste. So good, so fresh. It's got a little zing, a little zip. I can taste the shrimp and that crunchy cucumber. Perfect. So I'm just gonna put that to the side, and then we're gonna do the second fry for the tostones. And after that, we're gonna get started on the mango colada. We'll be right back. So I've got my tostones and they're ready to go in for their second fry. The oil's been heating up for a few minutes. It's on about a medium level to give it a good amount of heat. And basically, I'm just gonna pick up my tostone with a pair of tongs to be on the safe side and drop it into that sizzling oil. See, look at that, so easy. And basically, this second fry is just to give it that little extra crispiness, kind of help hold it together and sort of seal in that tostone cute shape that we've got going on here. Okay. And you can probably get, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 in the pan. They don't have to be totally immersed in the oil this time around because basically you're kind of just doing like a flash fry. That's what we're doing here. All right. And I like to give them about 30 seconds on each side just to kind of get that golden color really sealed in. Ooh, look at that. Can you see that, guys? It's perfect, that nice brown color. And I love how you can see a little imprint of the plantain. That gives it that sort of authentic feel. All right, I'm just gonna keep flipping them. Usually just one flip will do. And then before they start to burn, I'll take them out as quickly as I put them in. And I'm just gonna bring them over to a paper towel covered plate so they can drain off that excess oil. We don't want things too greasy. Now I've got a few more to fry up that I actually had made the other day and had waiting in the freezer for me. So that's a really quick tip that you can do if you want to save time and have these prepared just when your guests arrive. There we go. So let me just finish these up, and then I'm going to move on to assembling the tostones with our amazing shrimp salad. Now's the fun part. It's time to actually plate the tostones. So I've got my hot tostones ready to go, except they need a little dash of kosher salt, just to kind of help bring out those flavors. I'm just gonna give them a little sprinkle, like that. And now I'm gonna go straight to my shrimp style salad, put it right on top of my tostone, just like that. That's it. And you know, maybe for like a little extra color, we're gonna add a fine little sprig of cilantro, just like that. And that's it. I mean, is that not the easiest appetizer ever? And the thing is, you can use whatever you want from your refrigerator, maybe a little shredded beef. Sometimes I like to do a little brie on top that I'll broil in the oven just to give it that sort of bubbly goodness. But today we went with a simple, just Caribbean, fresh Puerto Rican flavors. And that's about it, guys. Just keep adding that little cilantro. And I'm gonna finish plating these up. And when we come back, I'm gonna get started on my mango colada. Now, you know this is my favorite part of the show, when we make the drinks. Today we're gonna be doing a spin on the classic Pina Colada. We're gonna give it a twist with just a little bit of mango. Now, all we need is a few ingredients. So the first thing that's gonna go into our blender is cream of coconut. And I've got about half a cup of that. It's kind of thick, so you kind of gotta make sure to get all of that cream of coconut out, because that's what gives the drink its like really nice sweetness. Okay, so that's in. Next, the pineapple juice, and I've got about a quarter cup of that. And pineapple juice is what is the classic pina colada, but I'm gonna add a little bit of mango as well. So this is just a mango nectar, very sweet, a little bit thicker. Quarter cup of that going in. And finally, we've got a little bit of ice. The And last but not least at all, the rum. And I'm gonna use a white rum. It's got a lot of Caribbean flavor. And we're gonna do about 3 fluid ounces. So that is about 2 shots worth. So there's 1 going in. Okay, so 2 shots going in. And now we just blend it up. Okay, I'm gonna give it a lot of kick. There we go. Okay, and I used crushed ice, so it's almost there. I'll give it a little bit more. That's it, our mango colada is done. Now it's my favorite part. Time to taste it. Ooh, look at that creamy deliciousness happening right there. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of a garnish. I always like to add a little color. So we'll use a strawberry today. Pop it right on there. Okay, let's give it a taste. It's like I've transported back to Puerto Rico. It's delicious. When we come right back, my friends are gonna be here and we're gonna share all of these drinks and tasty goodness with them.